Good morning, children. It's Sanjeev Pal from Srimati LPSAVANI VIDHYABHAVAN, your statistic educator, welcoming you all to the class of statistics. Here, children, we shall study the combined standard deviation. Now, first of all, we will take one condition that suppose if there are two groups, that is group 1 and group 2, then what could be the formula for combined standard deviation? If we talk about, say, the combined standard deviation, your combined standard deviation is denoted by HC, and your formula is, say, under root n1 into bracket s1 square plus d1 square bracket over plus n2 into bracket, say, s2 square plus d2 square whole upon n1 plus n2. Now we are going to see what do we mean by n1, n2, s1, s2, d1 and d2. Right. So over here, as you will see, now while we talk about n1, your n1 is what? Is the number of observations of say group 1, as we discussed that if there are two groups. N2 is what? Is number of observations of group 2. S1 is the standard deviation of group 1 and S2 is the standard deviation of group 2. Now you know how to find out standard deviation as we have done it earlier. Now we are going to see what do we mean by D1 and D2. As you will see below, that D1 is actually say the mean of the first group minus your combined mean. D2 is what? Is the mean of the second group minus your combined mean. Combined mean you know how to find out now. See above, the formula is already been given. Your combined mean is denoted by x bar c, and it is actually n1 x bar 1 plus n2 x bar 2 whole upon n1 plus n2, right? That you are going to use the formula of combined mean you are going to use while finding out d1 and d2, and all these values you are going to put into the formula of combined standard deviation, and that is how you can find out the combined standard deviation. Now here shall we see one of the examples to find out the combined standard deviation. Right, over here we'll look forward to our example number 22. See what has been given into the question. There is 5 observations in each of the two groups G1 and G2 are given below. Over here below you would find two groups have been given to you and different 5 observations are given in both the groups. Right, what they given? Find the mean. We need to find out the mean. We need to find out variance. They have also told to find out variance. Now let me remind you, what do we mean by variance? Variance is actually the square of standard deviation. I repeat, variance is the square of standard deviation, as you know. We'll move further. What they given? Find out the mean variance of say both the groups, hence obtain the combined standard deviation from it. So we need to find out over here mean, we need to find out over here variance, and they have told us to find out the combined standard deviation for the same. Right, now over here first of all we'll see to both the groups. Right, now see group 1. Right, in group 1 you are having your all the observations, that is from 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. You would find its total is coming up to 25. Similarly, we know that we need over here say your xi minus x bar. Right, similarly xi minus x bar whole square for a standard deviation. So first of all we'll see how we can find out the mean. Right, just as we'll see, while we talk about mean you know, while we talk about, say, the basic formula for mean, your mean is sigma xi upon your n1. Over here your sigma xi, that is the total of all the observations, is 25. As you divide by 5 number of observations, you will get your mean as 5. Right, so over here you would find above into the table. Right, your mean is what? Your mean is 5. So we are going to have xi minus x bar, that is 1 minus 5 will give you minus 4, 3 minus 5 will give you minus 2, 5 minus 5 is 0, 7 minus 5 is 2, 9 minus 5 is 4. But you know, and as we just discussed, okay, right now, that your for standard deviation, or you can say for variance, in fact, that is s square, we need xi minus x bar whole square. So what we need to do is that we need to do the square of xi minus x bar. right? So over here you would find the next column is xi minus x bar whole square. So we will have the square of minus 4, that is 16, square of minus 2, that is 4, square of 0 is 0, square of 2 is 4, square of 4 is 16 again, and you will have the total of it. The total will come up to 4040, right? So that is actually how you found out your xi minus x bar whole square. And as we discussed, that is for actually to find out the variance, right? So below you would find the formula for the variance, right? And as we have discussed that while we talk about say the formula of the variance, you would find that because it is of group 1, it is been written as 1 square, right? And variance and h square both are one and the same, right? So over here formula for your variance is sigma into bracket xi minus x bar say whole square upon n1, right? Above we found out into the table it is actually 40 divided by the total number of observations were 5, so your variance has come up to 8. So this is how you find out you found out in fact the variance of the first group, right? Similarly, we'll just see to the second group. In the same fashion, you are going to find out all the details for the second group. Second group, all the observations you will write. The total you will find will come up to 30. Again, in the similar fashion, we need to find out the mean for the second group. So x bar 2 is going to be equal to, that is your sigma xi2 upon n2. Sigma xi2 is 30 that we have seen, divided by the total number of observation is 5. So as you will divide 30 by 5, it has come up to 6. So over here mean for the second group has come up to 6, right? So again you are going to have your xi minus x bar, right? That is 2 minus 6 will give you minus 4, 4 minus 6 will give you minus 2, 6 minus 6 is 0, 8 minus 6 is 2, and 10 minus 6 is 4, right? Similarly, you would find that we are going to have xi minus x bar whole square. There's a square of minus 4 is 16, square of minus 2 is 4, square of 0 is 0, square of 2 is 4, and square of 4 is 16. The total will come up to 40, right? So that is the total of sigma xi minus x bar whole square. Now we can find out the variance for group 2, right? Again in the similar fashion we are going to find out the variance for group 2, right? You would find over here variance for group 2, that is your s2 square, that is equal to your sigma xi minus your x bar 2 whole square upon n2, right? From the above table you're going to have, that is 40 divided by 5, that will give you 8. So for the second group also, you're getting your variance to be 8, right? Now after finding out the variance, finding out the variance, you would find we need to find out the combined mean. Now for combined mean, as you know that our symbol first of all for combined mean is x bar c, right? And it is actually your n1 x bar 1 minus n2 x bar 2 whole upon n1 minus n2. So all the values we have found out the mean for both the groups separately. So those means you are going to write over here. We know the number of observations are equal for both the groups, that is 5. That also you will write over here. Now use the BODMAS, right, and just solve it out, right? So over here in the numerator you would find the value is 55 upon 10, right? It will give you 5.5. So your combined mean is actually your 5.5. That is how you found out your combined mean also. So now over here we are going for the combined standard deviation. We know that we need to find out d1 and d2, right? So over here you would find that we have seen the formula now, that how to find out d1 and d2. For d1 you know now that it is your x bar 1 minus combined mean. We found out combined mean also, right? So over here it is 5 minus 5.5. You would find your d1 is coming up to minus 0.5. Similarly, we'll have d2, that is you can say your x bar 2 minus your combined mean again. So that is 6 minus 5.5. Now over here it is giving you positive 0.5. over here it is the formula now for the combined standard deviation. Again, combined standard deviation, as you know, symbolically we denote by HC. It's under root n1 into bracket s1 square plus d1 square plus your n2 into bracket s2 square plus d2 square whole upon n1 plus n2. Right? In the next step, you would find over here it is looking like negative sign in between, but it's not the negative sign. Those are the plus signs. Right? So over here now below you would find, you will put up all the values, you solve it out just using the algebraic rules. Right? So over here you would find, over here you would basically add them. Right? First of all, divide, you will get something like 8.25. okay, you'll do the square root of it. It's coming up to 2.8723. right? Into your calculator you will get up to more decimal places, but as you know that we write up to 2 decimal places, so up to 2 decimal places, over here the answer for the combined standard deviation is 2.82. right? So that is your combined standard deviation for this particular example. Right? So we'll move further now. Now over here we shall see one more example of a combined standard deviation, but we are going to see over here different example, right? Different type of example. So let us see our example number say 23. Okay, what has been given? A factory manufactures say certain items in 2 shifts. Over here 2 shifts have been given to you, that is say shift 1 and shift 2. What has been given? The information regarding the time taken by the workers to manufacture the items is given below. That is how much of time that the workers are taking to manufacture the products. Right? Using the following say information, find the combined standard deviation. Over here directly they have told you to find out the combined standard deviation. Now as you see to the table, okay, as you will see to the table that has been given, this table is given to you. Okay, both the shifts are given to you, that is shift 1 and shift 2. Number of workers are there. Now number of workers means what they are given. For shift 1 it would be n1, so your n1 is 6060 and your n2 would be what? Would be 4040. Similarly in the next one you would find mean manufacturing item has been given to you in minutes. Right? So your you would find this 25 is your x bar 1, that is x bar 1 is your 25 and x bar 2 is your 20. Similarly standard deviation is given in minutes, that is s1 is given 5 and s2 is given 3. Right? So all these values are given to you. We need to find out what? We need to find out say combined standard deviation. But for all this, okay, for all this, you know, we need to find out basically combined mean first, so that we can find out say d1 and d2. Right? So we'll see combined mean. Okay, how we'll find out? Now you know this is the formula for the combined mean, and as 2 shifts are there, it is as n1 x bar 1 plus n2 x bar 2 whole upon n1 plus n2. Right? All the values for n1 say n2 x bar 1 x bar 2 is given into your table. So all these values you are going to put it over here. Use the concept of BODMAS. Right? Over here you are going to add the denominator, divide it, you would find it is 23 minutes. You would find over here it is 23 minutes. Right? Now let us see how to find out d1 and d2, because we find out the mean combined mean for d1 and d2. So your d1 as you know is x bar 1 minus your combined mean. Right? We'll take the values from above, that is 25 minus 23 will give you 2. Similarly, while you talk about d2, that is you can say mean for the second group minus your combined mean, that is 20 minus 23 will give you minus 3. Right? So over here we have got d1 and d2. Also we are having say the number of observations also. Right? We are having standard deviations also. Now we can find out the our combined say standard say deviation. We can find out the combined. Yes. Yes, again over here we have the formula for the combined standard deviation, as we need to find out. Right? Over here again your combined standard deviation is under root n1 into bracket s1 square plus d1 square plus your n2 into bracket s2 square plus d2 square whole upon n1 plus n2. below, you would find, you will put up all the values now again. Okay, we found out the combined mean, all the values, that is number of observations, standard deviations were given to you. We found out d1 and d2. All those values you are going to put it over here. Again, use BODMAS, right, and use the concept of algebra, right. Now over here, first of all, solve the bracket. Then over here, you are going to just multiply. Then you add the numerator and then divide it first, and then you will do the under root of the said value. You will get something like 4.9598. But as you know, we always write up to 2 decimal places. It is actually what it is. Actually, it will come up to 4.96, and as its unit is given in minutes, our combined standard deviation is 4.96 minutes, right? So over here, as see what has been given, see the its interpretation, right? Thus the standard deviation of the time taken by all the workers of both the shift is actually 4.96 minutes, right? And that is actually your combined standard deviation for the same. Okay, here we shall see now a different kind of example. So let us see our example number 24. What has been given? We'll see to the question first. Again, see what has been given. The information of the number of accidents in 10 days on a particular road is given. Okay, it is about, say, number of accidents taking place, okay, in say the 10 days. Find the mean and the standard deviation. They have told us to find out the mean and the standard deviation of the number of accidents per day. We need to find out the mean. We also need to find out the standard deviation for the same. Okay. Then further, what they have told, find the say percentage of the days having the number of accidents lying between the limits. Over here, they have given us the limits. What has been given over here? It is x bar plus minus standard deviation. Okay. Again, see the final question. It is important. What they've given over here, that find the percentage of the days having the number of accidents lying say between the limits x bar plus minus standard deviation. All right. Now what has been given to you over here? They have given you the number of accidents, and then they have given you the number of days for the same. So we need to find out, we need to basically have the table first, then we need to have mean, then we'll find out standard deviation, then we will have the limits that has been given, that is x bar minus s and x bar plus s. Okay, now we'll see how to find out those things, right? So you would find we'll prepare the table for the same, okay, to find out the mean and the standard deviation, right? So what has been given over here in the sum? They've given us the number of accidents, that is denoted by xi. We are having all the numbers which has been given, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. They have given us the column of frequency also, that is number of days, that is frequency. It is 2, 3, 3, 1 and 1 respectively. And as you will do the total of it, your say sigma fi, or you can say n, is coming up to 10. Similarly, we are going to have fi xi, because sigma fi xi would be used in finding out mean, right? So the column of sigma fi xi, right? Fi xi is what? It is actually nothing but the multiplication of the columns xi and fi. So you would find over here, say 1 2s are 2, then 2 3s are 6, then 3 3s are 9, over here 4 1s are 4, then over here 5 1s are 5. As you do the total of it, is coming up to 26, right? Now in say finding out the standard deviation, we need actually fi xi say square. All right, now fi xi square is nothing but is the multiplication of fi xi and xi and the column of xi. So you would find over here, say 1 2s are 2, then it's 2 6s are 12, 3 9s are 27, 4 4s are 16, and then 5 5s are 25. Again, as we will do the total of it, is coming up to what? Is coming up to 82, right? Now we can find out, as they have asked us to find out say mean and standard deviation, right? We'll try to find out the mean and the standard deviation. First of all, we'll look forward to mean. right? In mean, we know it is our sigma fi xi upon n. Sigma fi xi is the total of it. We are going to take from the table, that is 26, divide by 10. You would find your mean to be 2.6. And as your xi is number of accidents, your unit over here would be accidents. So your mean is 2.6 accidents. Now come the standard deviation. Okay, now as you know the formula for standard deviation now, right? So the formula for the standard deviation is as per fi xi. The formula is under root sigma fi xi square upon n minus your sigma fi xi upon n whole square, and that is actually your mean whole square, right? Now from the table and from the above that we found out mean, you are going to put up all the values into the next step, right? As you will do 82 divided by 10 will give you 8.2, and as you will do the square of 2.6 will give you 6.76, right? Just deduct them, right? You will have under root 1.44. As you will do the root of it, it will give you 1.2. So what is your standard deviation? Your standard deviation is 1.2 exceedance, right? But as you know, we wanted to find out the limits, right? So your limits with mean and standard deviation is what? It is actually your say x bar minus s and x bar plus s, right? It is your x bar minus s and x bar plus s. So as you will see below, okay, you would find x bar and standard deviation. You are going to take the values from above, that is 2.6 minus 1.2 will give you 1.4 exceedance, and while we talk about x bar plus s, that's 2.6 plus 1.2 will give you 3.8 exceedance, right? Now what they have told us into the question, they have given us the final line that we had read, that find the percentage of the days having the number of accidents lying between the limits x bar plus minus s. So now what we are going to find out, we are going to see what is the number of accidents between the limits 1 point your x bar minus s and x bar plus s. Now x bar minus s we have seen 1.4 and x bar plus s is 3.8. So we are going to find out say the number of days which are lying between 1.4 accidents and 3.8 accidents, right? So for that we will see the table over here, right? See to the first two columns of the table, right? See to the first two columns of the table. In the first two columns of the table, as you know that as we have seen below, that x bar minus s is 1.4 accidents, right? Scissors. For 1.4 accidents, 1.4 means what? It has crossed 1, right? So we are not going to take the frequency of 1. Okay, we will look forward to the frequency of 2. The frequency of 2. The frequency of 2 is 3. Okay. Now what is the second limit? It is x bar plus s, and x bar plus s has come up to 3.8. Now while we talk about 3.8, 3.8, it shows that it has not reached to 4. So we are not going to take 4. We are going to take what? 3. And what is its frequency? Its frequency is 3, right? So while we talk about say the number of days between the limits 1.4 accidents and 3.8 accidents, you would find the number of days is this 3 and 3, and 3 and 3 is actually what? Is actually 6. 3 plus 3 will give you 6, right? Now they have told us to find out the percentage of these days. Percentage of these days. So how we are going to find out the percentage of these days? This 3 plus 3 6 you are going to have in the numerator. What is the total number of days? The total number of days is 10. So that we will have into the denominator, and because it is the percentage, we will multiply it by 100. So what it is giving us? It is giving us, says the answer over here would be 6060. So what is the final answer over here? As they have asked us, say find the percentage of the days having the number of accidents lying between the limits x bar plus minus s. Okay, as you will solve like this way, you will get, say it is your 60 percentage, right? So we have found out the percentage over here. It is actually your 60 percentage. So this sum was a little bit different, and this is how we do this particular sum, right? Okay, over here we'll see now one more different kind of sum, and a different, and you can say one of the important sums of this chapter. So let us see our example number 25. All right, what they given? The mean number of the units produced by 100 workers of a factory per day is 60 units, and standard deviation is 10. So over here they have given you the mean and the standard deviation of the units produced by 100 workers. What they are given further? Later on, it was noticed that two workers have say actually produced 30 and 20 units respectively, right, but it was registered as 5 and 45 units. So children, over here they have given you say the wrong observations, and they have given you the correct observations. So the correct observations over here is 30 and 20. Okay, but the wrong observations, if I say, it's 5 and 45. Further, what they're given, that by considering this, we need to consider that over here, as they've given you the mean and the standard deviation. Okay, say the mean was incorrect, obviously, and the standard deviation is also incorrect. Why? Because the observations which were taken were incorrect. Right. So what they're given further, by considering this, find the corrected mean and the corrected standard deviation. Obviously, as your mean and your standard deviation are the incorrect ones, right? So we need to find out the correct mean and the corrected say standard deviation say of the number of units produced by the workers. So this is your say example where you would find they have given you say the wrong mean, they have given you wrong standard deviation, they have given you wrong observations, they have given you correct observations for the same, and they have told you to find out the correct mean and the correct standard deviation for the same. As over here they are given us say your x bar and standard deviation also, but we know these are the correct incorrect actually mean and standard deviation, as wrong observations were being considered while finding it, right? So over here we need to have first of all the corrected say sigma xi, and then we need to have our corrected sigma x square. Right, now how to find out those things? Okay, that we will see. Right, over here you would find your n is given 100, your x bar obviously is given 60, and your s, that standard deviation, is given 10. Over here the mean and the standard deviation are the wrong ones, but yes, the total number of observations will going to remain the same, that is 100, and that is a corrected one. Okay, now we know that the formula for our x bar is sigma xi upon n. X bar 60 that they have given us already, but which is a wrong one, is equal to sigma xi upon n, that is 100. 100 you will take onto the other side of the equal to sign, so your incorrect sigma xi is 6000. 6000 is your incorrect sigma xi, right? Similarly, come to the formula for standard deviation, because standard deviation is also given to you, right? So standard deviation, now you know the formula. Just let me a little bit do the zooming for you. Okay, now standard deviation, as you know the formula, over here the standard deviation is actually your say under root sigma xi square upon n minus your sigma xi upon n whole square, or you can say mean whole square, right? Now put up this incorrect standard deviation, okay, in the position of standard deviation, put up all the values, right? Just use your algebraic rules, have your sigma xi square on one side, take all the values onto the other and solve it, right? So you would find over here your sigma xi square is coming up to 3,70,000. It's coming up to actually say 3,70,000. So now we are going to see how it has to be done, how we are going to do this. All right, you got your say incorrect sigma xi and incorrect sigma xi square, but we need to find out the corrected one. So as you will see this, we are going to find out the corrected sigma xi. How we are going to find it out? sigma xi, the incorrect sigma xi is 6000, right? Now you're going to deduct the wrong observations. Okay, 5 and 45 were the wrong observations, that's why you will deduct it. And 30 and 20 were the correct observations, so that you will add it, right? So what is the corrected sigma xi you got? You got 6000 as your corrected sigma xi. Similarly, as you move on to find out the corrected sigma xi square, this 3,70,000 is actually your incorrect sigma xi square. Okay, now you are going to deduct the squares of the wrong observations. So over here, they have taken the squares of the wrong observations. You will deduct them and you will add the squares of the correct observations. So the squares of the correct observations are being added, right? You will solve it, right? You will solve this, and as you will solve it, you will find your corrected sigma xi square is actually 3,69,250. Now over here we can find out the corrected mean. Now we can find out the corrected mean, right? From the above only, from the above say whatever we have found out the corrected sigma xi and corrected sigma xi square, we will find out the corrected mean. Your corrected mean is corrected sigma xi upon n. Corrected sigma xi had come up to 6000, divide by 100, so your corrected mean is say 60 units. Similarly, we are going to find out say the corrected standard deviation. All right, obviously for the corrected standard deviation also we need to have all the corrected figures. All right, so over here you would find your corrected S or standard deviation is equal to under root say corrected sigma xi square upon n minus a corrected mean whole square. So as we have found out the corrected values, you are going to put it over here, right? पहले divide करो, right? Then you will deduct them. It's coming up to 92.5, and as you will do the root of it, it's coming up to 9.6177. But we are going to write up to 2 decimal places, so your corrected standard deviation has come up to 9.62 units. Your corrected standard deviation has come up to 9.62 units, right? So this is how we found out our say corrected mean, and you can say a corrected standard deviation, right? So children, today we'll stop our video over here. Okay, the further and different types of sums we are going to see in our next video. So God bless you all.